good?
It should be.
Yeah,
We
you got a
should be
little
live.
wind noise. We got a little bit of wind noise, but
Yep.
not much we can do at this point.
Project.
Can folks hear me? So I'm going to introduce myself to verify we're live. Mario Washburn with Boulder Fire. I'm the Public Information Officer. And I'll be speaking with a quick update. And then we have Brian Oliver, the Incident Command trainee, and he's going to add some more information on the plan for today. Awesome. Sounds like we're good. So Monday. Today is Monday. We are at 35% containment this morning, and the acreage has maintained fairly steady at 190 acres. The evacs were lifted last night. Hopefully everyone got that message that the neighborhood evacuations, people could go back into their homes yesterday evening. And then we still have El Dorado State Park is closed, so asking folks to stay out of that area for the day. And the hiking trails in the area are also closed. And regarding the hiking around this area, we know that folks in the city of Boulder really like to get outside and like to go on these hikes. And if they can go to places that aren't near the fire area, that will allow firefighters and the folks that need to work on this fire today and do the hard, good work that they're doing to be able to do that and not have to worry about the safety of the community while within that fire line. So we're asking folks to please stay out of that area if at all possible. And I'm gonna pass it over to Brian Oliver. He'll update some more on the fire and the plan.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Again, Brian Oliver, one of the incident commanders here for the NCAR fire. Just a quick update. Like Mario said, we've had some really good success. Crews have made it all the way around the fire. We've stopped the forward progress, obviously, and we're really actively working to mop up and secure those fire perimeter areas. One of the struggles we have is just the steep terrain on the west edge of the fire. Just kind of rough country, hard to get engines and hose into there, so we're really doing some real hard labor in there to secure that up. But we're going to continue that work today. We should be looking at increasing that containment number rapidly as things progress through the day. The concern we really have is today's weather. As you can hear, the wind's already picking up a little bit. Typically before those weather fronts come in, we see the wind beforehand. So what we're trying to do is make sure everything's secure and buttoned up so we can face this little wind event this afternoon before hopefully some moisture comes in tomorrow is really the key. Again, really successful firefight, and I attribute that to a lot of work and coordination. There's been great training with us and our partners, mitigation work that's been done in the area. So it's really been a huge community effort and a big community win that we've got no injuries and no structures lost or damaged on this incident.
Right, just before we go on, do you need him to position a little
Yeah,
closer?
we're up there in front of the mic.
Okay.
There you go.
That's really all I have is for an update. Does anybody have any questions?
What are your biggest concerns with this fire season coming up?
Always. Just anytime, there's no longer a fire season is really the concern. Fires here, fire season's year round now. There's really no season. If there's not active precipitation or snow on the ground, as you can see, it's March. This isn't fire season per se, and we just had a 200-acre fire. So really the concern is anytime there's not snow, it's fire.
We've been seeing, some flames in the trees throughout the morning when it was dark out still. How long do you guys anticipate that to happen?
So those heavy fuels back there they'll burn for weeks. There's so much organic material, heavy woody down, dead trees and things that just years and years of the forest doing what the forest does, right? So it's going to burn for a long time. We're hoping that the weather, the moisture tomorrow will kind of put a little kibosh on the active smoke and kind of ease everybody's concerns, but it'll smolder around for quite a while, and we'll have crews on scene up here checking it daily for at least 3 or 4 weeks.
So people down in these neighborhoods, if they see that, should they be concerned?
They shouldn't be. If they see something that's truly out of the ordinary, wispy smoke, not a big deal. They see a couple of glows in the night, not a problem. They see open flame or active fire, or any place they see, fire that they didn't see yesterday, that would absolutely be a place to call 911 and check.
Well, with that in mind, what type of things do you guys do? Because the wind is picking up. So what strategies do you do fighting these fires to make sure that they don't spread?
So like I said, right now we've stopped that forward spread, and now we're working farther interior to keep any kind of ember generation, right? The stuff that's still burning inside the fire gets picked up in the wind and blown towards those containment lines. So what we're doing is we're working farther and farther interior from those the fire's edge to secure that and keep any of those embers from blowing outside of the fire area.
Speaking of the fire's edge, can you describe how close that came and what stopped it right there? Was it a wind chill or something?
No. What happened there was active direct firefighting. So we had structure protection in place in case they couldn't contain the fire away from the community. The retardant helps. That's what we call a delay device. It doesn't put the fire out. It slows the fire down, buys firefighters some time. So we put that in place. The wind actually shifted to our favor, and we could take a direct attack right along that flank with hose lines coming up from the neighborhood. So, as you can see, it's maybe a tenth of a mile, a couple hundred yards from the homes, but it was just good active firefighting.
Are you guys concerned about anything you were able to stop forward progress? Are you worried with the wind today about that changing?
Wind is always a concern, but I'm confident that our lines will hold today.
Do you know how many personnel you guys are going to have out here?
Today we're looking at about 150 personnel on the fire line.
From all the regions?
Yeah, absolutely. Big interagency effort.
What role did all the snowfall that we've had? I mean, if you live in Boulder, you know it's been snowing like crazy the last 3 months. What role did that actually play in this?
So all the snow and moisture has helped. The soil is wet. It's making mop up much easier as we try to stir the hot embers and the hot ash in to mop it up and put it out completely. Having that moisture in the soil is really beneficial to that. But because of the season, the grasses aren't growing yet. They're still dormant, so they didn't take up any of that moisture. They're not growing in green. As you know, in that springtime we get that green up phase, and that's really like the best time for us because that green grass is growing and taking on moisture. It doesn't really burn. It's not as available. But in the spring before green up, everything is still dormant, so it's available for ignition. But it does help in the mop up. As you can see, looking at the picture behind me there, you can see where it burned around the snow. Anywhere there wasn't snow actually on the ground, the fuels were available for ignition. And with that,
We're good.
turn
Yeah.
it back over to Maria.
Thank you,
Thank you
Brian.
guys very much.
Any other additional questions?
You said the acreage is the same.
It has held, the estimate that we're putting out right now is 190, so it seems like it's changing by an acre or so, yes.
What trails are in the area?
Well, I do not know the names of the
No
trails.
worries, no worries.
I bet that information is on the internet for parks and open space, for open space mountain parks. So folks, if they're interested in wandering, they can look there. And the trails here are very web-like, so they might go on a trail to start that they think is open, and then end up going closer towards the fire, and we're just asking folks to pick the trail that goes farther away from the fire if that's the case.
Are there any more either updated or more accurate numbers about how many people were evacuated at sort of the height of that when that evacuation area was largest?
I don't have any more specifics. I think yesterday, for the largest evacuation numbers, I don't have those. I apologize. We'll try to get those. It might take a little bit. Any other questions? Okay, if we have more information for another press release or for another press conference, we'll let you know. We're hoping we have a good fire day on work-wise, and so hopefully there won't be much more to update with. Thank you so much.